The alley stretched, twisted, an impossible maze around him. His vision swam. He tasted iron. Death loomed, a hungry beast. Then a shimmer, air rippled.
Desperate times, eh?
Doyuk clutched his side, pain a searing brand.
Help me.
He needed a miracle.
Miracles come with a price, my friend. Always a price.
Doyuk fumbled in his pocket, retrieved a vial. Inside, liquid shimmered, faint golden light pulsing within.
This, for your aid.
Lawrence's eyebrows rose. He took the vial, examined it with a detached curiosity.
Interesting. What is this?
Water. From the fountain.
His trump card, his only hope. The water rumored to heal, to grant strength, to defy death itself.
The fountain of life. You possess a treasure indeed.
Heal me. Name your price. Gold, artifacts, anything.
Such mundane things hold no allure, friend. I deal in the extraordinary.
He circled Doyuk, a shark scenting blood.
What do you want? He had a sinking feeling this was a mistake.
That armor you wear, it intrigues me. An artifact of power, I sense. That is what I desire.
Doyuk's hand instinctively went to the breastplate, cold steel beneath his fingers. The chill of the metals sent a shiver down his spine, a reminder of the countless battles it had seen. The armor, passed down through generations, its origins shrouded in mystery. Legends spoke of its creation by a master blacksmith who imbued it with protective enchantments. He'd never understood its significance until now. The weight of his ancestors' legacy pressed upon him, a burden and a shield.
No! He choked out, the word a strangled gasp. His voice trembled, betraying the fear and desperation he felt.
The armor was his family's legacy, their protection. It had saved countless lives, and now it was his turn to uphold that tradition. He couldn't part with it. The thought of losing it was unbearable, like losing a part of himself.
Lawrence's smile widened, revealing teeth that seemed too sharp, too pointed. His eyes gleamed with a predatory glint, enjoying Dohyuk's torment. A shame, he purred. It seems we've reached an impasse. His voice was smooth, almost soothing, but laced with malice. Perhaps your life isn't worth that much, after all. The words dripped with contempt, each syllable a dagger to Dohyuk's heart.
He turned to leave, dismissing Doyuk with a flick of his wrist. The gesture was casual, almost lazy, but it carried the weight of finality. Doyuk's mind raced. He was trapped between the devil and the deep blue sea. The walls seemed to close in on him, the air thick with tension. He had to survive. But at what cost? The question echoed in his mind, a relentless drumbeat. He steeled himself, knowing that the path ahead would be fraught with peril, but also with the hope of redemption. Suddenly the air crackled with energy, a palpable tension that seemed to vibrate through every molecule. It was as if the very fabric of reality was being stretched thin, ready to tear open at any moment. A blinding light erupted, so intense it was almost painful to look at. Shadows were thrown wildly against the grimy brick walls, dancing like demons in a macabre ballet. The light seemed to pulse with a life of its own, casting everything in stark relief. In the center of the light, a figure began to materialize, slowly taking shape. It was as if the light itself was coalescing into a form, something both ethereal and solid.
The angel was imposing, beautiful, terrible. Its presence was overwhelming, a mix of awe and fear that made it hard to breathe. It was a being of pure power, both majestic and terrifying. Its eyes, twin burning coals, fixed on Lawrence with an intensity that seemed to pierce through his very soul. Those eyes held a fire that was both literal and metaphorical, burning with a purpose that was beyond human understanding. A voice like thunder and church bells echoed through the space, commanding and unyielding. "Release him," it said, the words reverberating with a power that seemed to shake the very ground.
Lawrence, to his credit, didn't flinch. Despite the overwhelming presence before him, he stood his ground, his face a mask of determination. It was a testament to his courage, or perhaps his stubbornness, that he didn't back down.
This doesn't concern you, Angel, he snarled, but Doyuk detected a tremor in his voice. The bravado was there, but it was clear that even Lawrence was not immune to the fear that the angel's presence invoked.
The angel took a step forward, and the very air seemed to crackle with divine power. Each movement was deliberate, filled with an otherworldly grace that was both beautiful and terrifying. The atmosphere grew even more charged, as if the air itself was alive with energy. Lawrence didn't wait around for a second invitation. The urgency in his steps was palpable, as if the very ground beneath him was urging him to move faster. He knew that hesitation could mean the difference between life and death. He vanished, air shimmering where he'd stood, leaving behind an almost tangible sense of his presence. It was as if the very fabric of reality had been momentarily altered by his departure, leaving Do-hyuk alone with the celestial being. The light faded, casting long shadows that seemed to stretch into infinity. Do-hyuk felt a chill run down his spine as the world around him grew dimmer. The angel regarded Do-hyuk, its expression unreadable. Its eyes seemed to pierce through his very soul, weighing and measuring his worth. Do-hyuk could feel the weight of its gaze, heavy and profound. Then it turned, wings unfurling to their full magnificent span, each feather catching the light in a dazzling display. The sheer majesty of the sight left Do-hyuk breathless, and with a rush of wind it too was gone. The sudden absence of the angel left a void, a silence that was almost deafening in its intensity. Do-hyuk was left gasping, heart pounding. The adrenaline coursing through his veins made his hands tremble. He struggled to catch his breath, the enormity of what had just happened slowly sinking in. He was alive, but the encounter left him shaken. Every nerve in his body felt raw, exposed. He knew that he had just brushed against forces far beyond his understanding. He'd just witnessed a battle between powers beyond his comprehension. The memory of the clash, the sheer power and intensity of it, would be etched into his mind forever. It was a reminder of the vast, mysterious world that lay just beyond the veil of the ordinary. He clutched the vial, the cool glass a comfort against his palm. The water within glowed faintly, a promise and a warning. He'd survived for now, but he knew with chilling certainty this was just the beginning. The world was a darker, more dangerous place than he'd ever imagined, and he, whether he liked it or not, was caught in its web. The price of survival, he realized, was eternal vigilance.